Now, I've been... Everyone got once again. Now, I've been... I know this came out like over a week ago or so, but I've been wanting to avoid this because I knew how much this film is going to piss me off. Now I'm not gonna I'm not gonna scream and shout. I don't want to have the energy to do that because first of all, I knew for a long time this film, a sequel to this, would not work at all. Okay, yes, but like I said, I've been wanting to avoid this. I wanted to, but I just talked about it. This is my thoughts. You already know what the title is, so this is my ranting thoughts on Space Jam: New Legacy. Yeah. 25 years later, after... crap. Now, this... I say right now, I love the first Space Jam. It's one of my personal favorites that I grew up loving. I love Space Jam, and also call... You can see up there, I have the poster right there, right between Congo and the Blob. I love Space Jam. I've seen this practically for over 100 times, for a span of my lifetime. It was a childhood film that I loved so much, watching it a lot of times as a kid. And when I heard I first heard where they were make the idea of making a sequel, especially now, it would not work. I already knew this would not work because it's like now it's 25 years later. If I would have been fine if they did a sequel, if it was like a few years after the first one, maybe like 98 or the year 1998 or 99, right? I would have been fine with that, but not freaking 25 years later. We did not. And first of the next. We didn't need a sequel at all. This is a film I think we did not need a sequel to, because I think it was a film, what was the term, I'm not saying dated, but it was good for the time it was made, right? When I see a sequel like this work nowadays, I don't. If it made like in 98 or 99, I would have been fine with it, but not freaking 25 years later. It would not work nowadays to me. To me, it does not work. And plus, and the first film, like I said, Michael Jordan as himself, and I would think of him playing as himself, I think he's better acted than Shaquille O'Neal. I'm just saying, because we already know how bad acting Shaquille O'Neal is. Look at Kazam and look at Steel. To me, Michael Jordan, he was better acted playing as himself than Shaquille O'Neal was at other movies. And I love the Looney Tunes. I love the Monstars. Danny DeVito as Mr. Smackhammer. And the other cameos as himself. Bill Murray was fun. The other basketball players, Larry Johnson, Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Muggsy Bogues. So Larry Johnson. And Bill Murray too. And Wayne Knight, and I love Wayne Knight as Stan. I love Wayne. I love Wayne. He was really fun role was seeing Wayne Knight working with Michael Jordan along with the Looney Tunes, and I loved it. The film, it was made at the at the right time, because the Space Jam was made at the time of Michael Jordan's career. He was playing for the Chicago Bulls, and then he quit, to pursue baseball, and then overall to kind of did work, and then he went back to play for the Chicago Bulls again. And that was but except in this fictional fictional portrayal of the life of Michael Jordan. And that was kind of like a kind of unique way to tell Michael Jordan's story, how it was in a fictional way of his life and career. And And that was like kind of a unique kind of way at the time it was made. And I thought it was kind of like, to me, very unique in a way, in a film of its time. It would not work nowadays. And first of all, next, with this film now, LeBron James, and before I say anything, I will say this, I'll get shit for it, but it's me. I was never a fan of LeBron James. I know people say he's a great basketball player. Nothing against that. If he's a good basketball player, that's fine. But I was never a fan of him to begin with. I never was. I never was a fan of him, and how he is in real life, I have nothing to say on that because I'll probably just get shit for it. But it's like, oh, you can't talk to LeBron James like that. I can say what I want, okay? It's my right to say what I want. I've never was a fan of LeBron James. I'll just keep it at that, alright? And seeing him in this film, now his acting in this film, I also say Michael Jordan has acted as himself. Michael Jordan was acted better. Now, what I say is LeBron James acting worse than Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, God. I don't say how anyone could be worse than Shaquille O'Neal, so maybe I'll give LeBron a pass of this. He's kind of a bit better than Shaquille O'Neal is. Maybe. But that's not saying much. Anyway, in this he has this big house, of course, like LeBron has like multiple big houses. Here is a son was like, oh, I don't want to do this, He's kind of like the son, like, okay, you have all this stuff here, but you're not satisfied, right? Yeah, it's kind of a typical thing we've seen before. And then he gets transported into this computer, which, well, you could say it's cyberspace, maybe, but for all I know, Space Jam was the fight against aliens from Space Jam. But here, it's in a cybernetic world. You can say cyberspace, you can say. And your villain is Don Cheadle. Now, I like Don Cheadle, but he does not fit in this. Probably because I've seen too much of him in this MCU. To me, probably, he just does not fit in this. I like him in other movies, but he does not fit in this. He's this computer, and he wants to, where his son is, play a basketball game. And the Looney Tunes get assembled. And when we say LeBron James, first of all, in the traditional cartoon way, it looks awkward. It looks totally awkward when he's in traditional cartoon animation. Which, funny thing enough, that didn't happen to Michael Jordan when he went to Looney Tunes World. He didn't become a traditional cartoon silhouette of himself. But he makes it the Looney Tunes. And then all of a sudden when they want to play the game, then they all become 3D, in which the Looney Tunes in 3D, 3D style animation, that also looks awkward for me as well. And here's what I give him one of the big problems I have with this film. Number one, this is not Space Jam 2 when this happened. This is a sequel to Ready Player One. I'm sure people already know by now, but when they see this trailer, they already know about this. Yeah, this is a sequel to Ready Player One because we have all the characters that are Warner. Here, they are all basically all Warner Brothers property. So yeah, all the characters that are property of Warner Brothers. Especially got the Hanna-Barbera characters. The Flintstones, because you hear them say Yabba Dabba Doo. You have the Flintstones, you have Scooby and the Gang. Yogi Bear, and you have Jabberjaw, which I was like, I haven't seen Jabberjaw in a long time. Okay, Jabberjaw, he was the shark. He kind of talks like Curly in a way. Jabberjaw, and why I say more the sequels to Ready Player One because you have King Kong, you have the Iron Giant again, which both of them were in Ready Player One. And yeah, Pennywise the Clown, which. Yeah, I know it's Warner Bros. Probably, but the newer Pennywise the Clown from 2017, 2019. You have this Pennywise the Clown that rips a kid's arm off and eats him. in a kids movie. And then of course you got the Batman characters like Joker, and I saw Penguin in there as well, Mr. Freeze, I think. So you have Batman characters in there as well, or DC characters, and then you got what other stuff? There's a lot of characters you blink and you miss some, but I didn't blink when I saw this. I saw the gang from A Clockwork Orange. Now you get to know one other thing here. If you remember Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, yeah, that's one of Stanley Kubrick's. I like Stanley Kubrick, though. From 2001 A Space Odyssey, The Shining I love, Full Metal Jacket. Eyes Wide Shut was kind of a weird movie, but wasn't big on that. That was his last film. And then A Clockwork Orange I wasn't also a fan of also either, though. But in that movie, Clockwork Orange, young Malcolm McDowell, his gang kind of like killed people, even raped women, which brings up one thing very hypocritical about this. So you have that gang in that, right? That they like the raped people, right? Women, and yet one thing I do know about this. When I don't do videos, I read the news all the time on this stuff. They canceled. That's one thing I point out with it pisses me off about this is I hate, which one people are asking me about, I hate the freaking cancel culture of this. I'm sick and tired of this goddamn cancel culture stuff nowadays. Because people will think of anything, nothing to do to complain about, or anything to do they want to cancel. I try to avoid talking about this because I don't like talking about the stuff on my channel because I talk about, this is about all that stuff, right, is free of that stuff, but when you play cancel culture in this, because they cancel, you don't see Pepe Le Pew in this, right? Because they canceled him, they cut him out of the movie because he resembles the rape culture. Because that's what part of the one, because the running joke is always going after that cat we think is also a female skunk, right? But no, he's part of the rape culture, which even Chuck Jones's daughter, she even said that was stupid. Which I guess I agree with. And yet they canceled Pepe Le Pew because he thinks it's rape culture. But you bring in the gang from A Clockwork Orange in there, like you kind of see him in the corner because you see Granny, Tweety, Granny. She could do like the break dance. Oh, she's moving, right? That's also stupid as well. But you see kind of like in there in the back, you see the gang from A Clockwork Orange. So you get the hypocritical point of Warner Brothers, which they're no better than Disney, because most of the studios are a bunch of jackwagons anyway. Asswipes. So yeah, there's your little one hypocritical thing about that. You can cancel Pepe Le Pew because he thinks it's part of rape culture, but you bring in characters from an R-rated movie that killed and raped women. That's part of the hypocritical of this whole cancel thing, right? And it was a running joke because it was a running joke for Pepe Le Pew as well, always going after the female cat, which he thinks is a skunk though, but still, it's a running joke. It's the Looney Tunes, okay? Jesus Christ! And speaking of another hypocritical thing. Oh, and those there was the HBO Max version of, I think they did another Looney Tunes series, right? They give rid of Elmer Fudd's, shotgun, right? Instead of giving him a freaking scythe or something like that, which I thought was freaking stupid. But yet, we still have Yosemite Sam. You see, Yosemite Sam still has his guns shooting at Daffy Duck. The typical thing with Elmer Fudd, where I would shoot Daffy Duck, his beak would be messed up or his face get messed up, right? But yet they keep Yosemite Sam's guns though, but you get rid of Elmer Fudd's in the place of a scythe or sickle or something like that. Oh my freaking god! Because good gun violence, whatever. I'm trying to keep it cool here, guys. I'm trying not to freaking lose this right here, because my mind is getting on overload. Because this is why I hate talking about this stupid crap. Yeah, this whole freaking cancel culture, and this whole stupid thing on the gun thing, and I already know about everything. The world, the society we're living in now, right? I already know about this, and this is just. I'm getting so sick and freaking tired of this bull crap. and I'm still sick of this whole cancel culture. They'll find a freaking cancel freaking anything they want to, because people have nothing better. Because people like those people have nothing better to do than sit around and complain and complain and complain. Well, if you hate it, just keep your freaking mouth shut. Keep your opinions to yourself. Then, how about that? So I hate freaking talking about this crap because it gets me all fired up. And this is why I see in this movie, not because the whole thing with not only because the sequel of Rape Platform, but for no Pepe Le Pew, he's not in this movie because of that, and you get the hypocritical thing of because it's part rape culture, but yet bring characters from an R-rated movie like a Clockwork Orange, the characters that rape women, and Pennywise a clown that ate freaking kids. In a kids movie, you see these. You think because it's a kids movie, you think kids are gonna be stupid enough to think, because there's so many characters in here. If you think they're gonna blink and you miss them, they're not gonna know who they are. Well, here as an older audience, we know. And moving all this aside now, and you get the bad guys, the other opposing basketball team that they're gonna be playing, right? Generic villains. They're not monstars. They're nowhere near on the same level as Monstars is. Let's get that right. Nowhere near. Even Don Cheadle, he's not the same level villain like Danny DeVito's character was. And also, stupid thing, and throughout this whole trailer, we see like sort of a retooled version of Space Jam, by the band that sang the song of Space Jam, the City Squad or something, the Q City Squad, I think it was. Yeah, Squad City DJs, yeah. Space Jam. Which other thing I also loved about it. I love the intro to this. I love the intro to Space Jam. I love how the whole montage of Michael Jordan's career, the real life footage of his career and of his career to basketball and the Chicago Bulls winning the championships, and the whole intro song of Space Jam playing this. Here you get a shitty retooled version of that song, which I thought was so bad. Which oh my god, you're just hurting my childhood more. And yes, so that's one thing. But this is part of nostalgia. I'm always giving crap on nostalgia because I always put movies nowadays from the nostalgia. But this is a nostalgia that still holds up to me. I love. And yeah, a shitty retooled version of that. A retooled version of this from this movie of Godzilla was much better than the retooled version of this song of Space Jam. And I love that reversion of Godzilla. And that film, this sequel here, let me move this. That sequel gets a lot of hate when that came out in 2019. But people like the Godzilla vs. Kong, though. They got much better ratings, though. But what do I know? So yeah, you already know I'm not looking forward to this, right? And funny thing is, my brother, he's gonna make me see this movie with him. Payback, he says. For what? Because of he saw a movie with me that he didn't like. One movie, and he made me sit through. He made me waste 4 hours of watching the director's cut of Justice League. That was Payback too, and he also wants more Payback. Maybe sit through it because he deliberately wants me to sit through it to watch this sequel just to get my reaction. Because he knows how much I'm gonna hate this movie. He already knows that. He wants to do this on purpose to me because he knows how much I love Space Jam, and he wants to do it just to get a rise out of me, just to see my to watch my negative reaction to this. He already knows I'm going to hate it. This film just does not work. It's not just not be called Space Jam 2. You should call this Ready Player 1 2. Ready Player, because you have... What was the point of bringing all these characters? It was just what was wrong going back to the Looney Tunes? Why can't you just make him go to the Looney Tunes world just like what Michael Jordan did? Especially why does he have this computer? For what I saw. Why does LeBron James have this big computer thing in his house or something where his son gets sucked into? I don't think that was at his house, but if he does, why would he have that there? Jesus Christ, me. Yeah. This is why the films like this, I thought was like this fell on the ground as they pick it up. You'll be checking my review of this because I did a recording of this before I did this. So this year I got more fun and entertainment out of, and a kick-ass character. And on Willy's Wonderland, I got more fun out of this than what I've seen in this. So yeah, you've been checking my this is my review. This is gonna be coming up because you have a character like Nicolas Cage, who's a badass when he takes out these murderous animatronic robot animals, you know. And I even got more of the theme, the soundtrack in this, more than this. The soundtrack is not going to be as good. And there's one thing: the soundtrack in this sequel is not going to be as good. Damn well is not as good as the soundtrack in this. I have R. Kelly's "I Believe I Can Fly." Then you got Seal's "I Want to Fly Like an Eagle." Monica, "For You I Will." And the theme the theme Space Jam. And the rest of the soundtrack for this movie. This is actually one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. So like I said, a film that was made of its time made at the right time with the right songs, score, animation, and the right time. This time of Michael Jordan's career. This film was made at the right time. And plus, who else am I gonna see in this movie of cameos? What are the basketball players I'm not gonna see? Because I don't know much of these basketball players nowadays. I don't watch basketball anyway. What? We're gonna see Steph Curry. Kobe Bryant sadly is now passed away. Sadly though, but wouldn't be surprised if he was still alive. He'd probably make an appearance in this. But other than LeBron James or Steph Curry that I know of, who else am I gonna see? I don't know any other basketball players nowadays. The basketball players I knew grew up at the time when this movie was made. Michael Jordan, he's my favorite basketball player. I always loved Michael Jordan. My dad, too. Like I said, a film that was made at the right time. And, Bill Murray, he was fun. Wayne Knight, he was a riot to watch. I love Wayne Knight in this. In the first Space Jam. The soundtrack rocked. You can hear that the other dogs are barking. I'm also watching my other dogs, my uncle's dogs too. That's why they're barking. So yeah, probably they're barking. Probably now they're barking someone outside though. But probably they also want to tell him to stop right now. Probably, but I'm going to do that right now because all the things I pointed out, right? Especially all the problems with how I said. Stupid of the cancel culture stuff is bullcrap. Especially Pepe Le Pew. Even Chuck Jones's daughter said it was stupid as well. Get rid of him, but throwing characters that are from another movie, an R-rated movie that read women. But yet Pepe Le Pew, he's bad. Give me a freaking break. Man, my brain is on overload right now because again, I'm so sick and tired of all this stuff that's being put into movies nowadays. But yeah, if you're looking forward to this, that's fine. I hold nothing against you guys. I already know I'm not gonna like this film. I already know that because it's just a rubbing salt in the wound of a childhood film. Especially one of my personal favorite movies of all time. It doesn't. They should have just made this film like a sequel to this film like a few years after the first film. That's how it could have worked. I've been fine with that, but not 25 years later. I think even a couple years back, even Charles Barkley, he said a sequel will not work. I thought he even said that this was dumb as well. Which yeah, if he said that making this sequel to this was dumb, I agree with that because I remember he said something like that was a sequel to this will not work. Man, and I knew I wanted to avoid talking about this trailer, especially this movie in general. I tried to avoid this, but it's inevitable, so here you go. But yeah. But if you're looking forward to it, that's fine. But we agree to disagree. I'm not looking forward to it. You already know I'm already not going to like this film already, so. My brother, yeah, he's just going to make me see this. Payback again. Like he this is my brother you're talking about, so I already explained the whole thing is what me and my brother debate on when regards to films. So I'll just stick watching the first film. All the problems I have with all the problems with this film I said before. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about Lola Bunny. How can I forget about Lola Bunny? Just really quick, yeah, because she's she's a female bunny, right? Get rid of her boobs, yeah. That's what they want to do because she's like a sexy bunny or sex symbol, or whatever. You know what? I'm not getting into that though. The whole idea of getting rid of that, talk about her, is stupid anyway. I never had a problem with it, even back then, because when you're a kid, you're not thinking none of that about that. She's a cartoon character. That's what you're supposed to think of, right? She's a girl that likes Bugs Bunny. That was all I thought about, right? I didn't think about having bunny boobs or whatever. And yet, people make a big fuss about Howard the Duck, seeing duck boobs, but Lola Bunny though. That she's a cartoon character. She can't have that. I'm done talking about this. I was just gonna make myself get more fired up and more so, but I'll stick watching the first film. It was one of my all-time personal favorites. A film that was good, that was made, that was good at its time. Not 25 years later, it does not work anymore. I never knew it wouldn't work anyway. So yeah. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my review of this film, which I thought I got more fun, more entertaining out of this film. Despite a couple of nitpicks, though, but I had a fun time with this movie. This I would have as one of my favorite films of this year. So stay tuned for my review of that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all later. I gotta give my brain a rest now. I'm sick and tired of this whole bullshit of this cancel culture stuff. That's why I didn't want to talk about it, but here you go. That's why I'm so sick and goddamn tired of and hypocriticalness as well. So also them being hypocritical at the same time. What you already know my thoughts. Are you gonna check back what I said about it? See y'all later.